Since our last review of Andy making his pork adobo was so popular, today we're going to be seeing how Joshua Weissman makes his chicken adobo. If you are new, welcome to the channel. My name is James Makinson. I've been cooking for many years in the United States and over here in Europe, and I have plenty of other recipe videos on my YouTube channel as well, which you are more than welcome to check out after seeing this one. And if you do happen to enjoy this video, then don't forget to give it a like, maybe a share as well. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any content, because at 500,000 subs, we will be making our own egg fried rice. And hopefully Uncle Roger will review it. Now, let's get started.
Today we're making the classic chicken adobo. Greatest chicken dish of all time. Well, hang on, there's a lot of actually really good chicken dishes that I like. I get really excited about adobo because I'm a big fan of it. It's tender, it's rich, it's salty, it's sweet, it's acidic, it's everything you want, and it's beautiful on a plate of rice. Or you could use it for anything. It's so multifaceted. Why doesn't everyone make this? I want more people making it properly. So with all that said, let's make this. Shall we?
There are a lot of chicken dishes, and actually let me know what your favorite chicken dish is down in the comments. Is it chicken adobo? Is it chicken croquetas? Is it chicken Caesar salad? Is it grilled chicken, roast chicken? You can do a lot with chicken.
Okay, this is quite possibly one of the easiest, most flavor-packed chicken dishes of all time. So let's not waste any time. In a large bowl, add 4 chicken drumsticks and 4 bone-in and skin-on chicken thighs. That's right, bone-in, not bone-less.
If any of you guys shop at the same stores that I do, then occasionally you may come across some feathers that are still left in the chicken skin. And if you are going to be using chicken skin for chicken wings or anything else, it is a good idea to double check just in case to see if there are any little feathers still attached. Because me personally, I don't like eating feathers.
To that, you're gonna add 20 cloves of garlic that have been heavily crushed. Yes, 20 cloves. For all the people that are like, oh yes, whenever I see a recipe that says 2 cloves, it means 4 to me. How about this, Karen, huh? 20? For real though, garlic is probably one of the most important things in my life, so yes. Add a small fresh crack of black pepper.
20 cloves of garlic. I mean, there are about 10 to 12 cloves of garlic per bulb. It varies, so you could have more, you could have a little less. So this is about 2 bulbs of garlic, and it will cook, but still this may not be the best recipe to make if you're going on a date. But I do have to say that if you are worried about vampires, they'll stay away from you after eating this. After eating 20 cloves of garlic, oof.
Then 1 tablespoon or 7 grams of whole black peppercorns, 3 tablespoons or 50 grams of palm sugar. The good stuff will come in pucks like this, which I highly recommend. And you can break those down by finely chopping with a knife or grating with a grater. Place that in your bowl, then add 1 1/4 cup or 300 milliliters of unseasoned rice vinegar.
Those are 2 very good practical ways on doing this, but if you have a very good blender, like a Thermomix, we used to use a Thermomixes for everything in the kitchen, like literally everything. Out of 40 chefs in the kitchen in London, every single station had to use a Thermomix for something, and we only had one in the kitchen, so we had to share that for every single station. And on my station alone, when I first started on hot larder, I had 6 purees, a soup, and also an oil, and all those required the Thermomix. And Thermomix machines work very well. So if anybody is from Thermomix and they're watching, I would love a sponsorship. Trust me, I will push Thermomix. I've used them for years. I love the product, and they have never failed on me.
Then add 1 1/4 cup or 300 milliliters of unseasoned rice vinegar, 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of dark soy sauce, 1/2 cup or 120 milliliters of regular soy sauce, ideally the Silver Swan brand, link in description for that, 1/2 cup or 120 milliliters of filtered water, toss that nicely, and finally 4 bay leaves.
Now adobo is one of those recipes that there's endless variations of it. I mean, endless. Some people even put Coca-Cola in their adobo recipes, but 300 ml of vinegar seems like quite a bit compared to the ratio of water.
Then just cover that bad boy with plastic wrap and marinate in the fridge for 2 hours, but ideally overnight. And look, for the record, you can skip the marination completely and it's still delicious. But of course, Papa still recommends overnight marination. Thank you.
Now, being in the hospitality industry, and I'm sure many other chefs, you as well, can testify to this, but you may get a lot of people that ask you if you can change a recipe or change a dish because it has this, that, or the other thing, and they may be intolerant or they may have an allergy. Like garlic, for example, can be one such ingredient, onions as well.
Then get a large brazier or Dutch oven, heat that over medium-high, with enough oil to coat the bottom of the pan, then sear all of your chicken pieces in batches on all sides for 2 to 3 minutes per side to get some nice browning on all that beautiful skin and meat. Then brown the rest of it. Please do that in batches, placing each batch to the side after browning to avoid any overcrowding. Papa no quis if chicken on top of chicken while searing.
One thing I would recommend when searing the chicken is when you're doing this at home, use a deeper pot or a deeper Dutch oven so you don't have all the mess and all the splatter as you see here. The reason why Joshua is doing this in a shallow pan is so it's easier for us to see with the camera, because it is a lot easier. But the trade-off with this is you have more of a mess and it's a lot more cleanup. So unless you're making YouTube videos or TikTok videos, I recommend a deeper pot, like Andy did with his video.
Once all of your chicken is seared and out of the pan, add your marination liquid along with all of its aromatics. Literally just dump all of it out. Increase the heat to medium-high, then arrange all of your chicken snugly in one layer in your cooking apparatus, then bring that to a boil, and as soon as it reaches that boil, immediately reduce to low, reduce to a simmer, cover with a lid, and cook for 35 minutes. Then uncover that bad boy, carefully turn your chicken pieces, cover again, and cook for 25 to 35 more minutes. This time turning your chicken pieces occasionally to coat thoroughly during that process until your chicken is beautifully tender and the liquid thickens to a stunning glaze. I mean, look at this thing just bubbling away. Something about it touches deep within the reaches of human carnal desire. The exposed bone, the amber luxurious sauce, the aromatics caramelizing away. It's just sexy.
I do have to admit that the finished adobo does look very tasty, but like very good.
From there, you can hit that with some fresh green onion and plop that whole thing on a table with some rice to the side, or you can plate it up like so. A nice mound of rice, followed by 1 to 2 pieces of chicken per person, then spoon on as much or as little of the sauce. On top, I like to get nasty with it. I like a lot of that incredible sauce. Get ready to absolutely buzz.
Okay, so before we even start, Vikram said that there's a 2% chance that I would actually catch this correctly in my hand like this. So, and my hands are greasy and covered in chicken fat, so let's see if that's true. Ah! Let's just get a round of applause. Chicken adobo, just absolutely solid. I got a text message from one of my very good friends, Dan the man. He's watching. He is from the Philippines. He knows this cuisine, and he felt that I did it justice today. So if you don't feel that I did it justice today, I don't care, because my friend said I did a good job. So shut the up. First step in checking if it's right, you just need a spoon to simply...
Like I've said before, there are many different types of adobo, and the taste or the flavors that you want out of this dish are subjective depending on the person making it. So this looks very tasty, it looks very good, but the vinegar, I would have to taste it to see. I really would, because it looks delicious.
That is succulent. Perfectly cooked, it falls apart, it's rich, you've got that deep, dark soy flavor, the acidity from the rice vinegar, everything comes together, it's rich but also balanced at the same time. This is everything that I know about adobo. And it's so simple. Why isn't everyone making this? Wake up, America, and the rest of the world that's not the Philippines, which is, there's a lot of that. Wake up! And then obviously the rice gets stained with that sauce. And it's bussin'. So now that this is done, it's messy, it's delicious, but what if you have leftovers? What are you gonna do with that?
Did somebody say unbelievably crisp chicken adobo pot stickers?
Now this video itself is more than a year old, and you can tell with Joshua's older videos, not even that long ago, but his older ones, that some of them were a lot slower, and I like this, and they're a lot more detailed and focused on the recipe, which I like a lot.
So to make that, get a medium-sized bowl and add a 1/4 of a head of green cabbage, very thinly sliced. Salt that lightly and crush with your hands aggressively to soften it up. Then add 3 thinly sliced green onions, toss together. Then just get any leftover chicken you have, take it off the bone, and shred it down with the skin and everything as finely as possible. Drizzle in some of your glaze to taste, assuming you saved it, right? You didn't throw it away, right? Anyway, mix all that together beautifully, and that's your filling.
I think the pot stickers are going to be even tastier. Now personally, I think a little bit of coriander would go very well in this. And if you are going to be making a lot of this at home, when you salt the cabbage, if you let it sit, you may have some excess water in the bowl. So if you do, it would be a good idea to drain off the excess water. Otherwise, the filling that you're making may be a little wet.
Now just get some gyoza wrappers. You can make them yourself or you can buy them. That's gonna be up to you this time, bud.
If I were you, I would buy the wrappers because it will save you a lot of time.
Fill that with your desired filling, about 2 teaspoons or so. Wet the edges, fold it like a taco and pinch in the center, then pleat only one side of each end. Starting from the center, pleat, move the finger down, pleat again, and then one more time for 3 total pleats. Then repeat that on the other side of the midpoint, press everything together, and look at that. It takes some practice, but once you get it, it's actually really not that hard at all. Just don't get all nervous and sweaty because, well, then you're nervous and sweaty and that sucks, but the dough will also stick to your clammy, stressed hands. Don't worry. Papa's got you.
Like Joshua said, they do take a little bit of practice, but it's super easy to make these. But one thing you want to make sure is not to overfill these. Otherwise, it'll be much more difficult to fold them and to crimp them. But Joshua, you can tell, has made quite a few of these.
Then repeat that process until you've used all your filling. Now, if you had half of your original adobo recipe left over, this will make about 14 to 20 gyoza. Now, all you gotta do is heat a nonstick skillet over medium heat, add just enough oil to coat the bottom of the pan lightly, about 2 tablespoons. Then once that's hot, arrange your gyoza all the way around the pan so they don't touch but they all fit nice and snug. And let those cook and brown for about 2 minutes or until the underside is crisp and beautifully browned like this. Then very quickly add a 1/4 cup of water to the pan, immediately close the lid and let that steam for 3 minutes. Then remove the lid, and if there's any liquid left, let that simmer till completely gone. Let the gyoza rest for about 1 minute, then carefully remove them from your pan and arrange on a plate, crisp side up. And optionally, but highly recommended, you can absolutely drench these bad boys in your favorite chili oil, which of course should be my recipe, and the link for that is in the description. I also used the glaze from the chicken adobo plus a little splash of extra vinegar as a dipping sauce. Now all we gotta do is hop aboard the train
The flavor town.
Joshua added extra vinegar to the adobo sauce as dipping sauce. Woof! Joshua did the healthier method. You could also deep fry these, but these look delicious.
Next to it, we have just some of the reduced braising liquid from the adobo. Cover this in chili oil. It's a beautiful thing. It's fragrant. Listen to this. You hear that? Oh my God. Shut up! I want to take this into the bedroom with me. Is that enough for you? This is ridiculous. Somebody get over here and taste it.
It's over.
It's over. Every time we combine stuff, I feel like we start to make real wave.
I do have to admit, having someone help you make these videos helps a lot. And I wonder how many people Joshua has now working for him. I think it's more than a couple, more than 4 or 5.
Somehow this is so good it feels like a butt better. Now is the time. This is your call to action. Make the freaking chicken. And with the leftovers, you better be making this. Also go to the description and buy my book. I want you to do that and then I want you to make this. That was a shameless plug. And now I'm gonna go shamelessly plug myself.
Now, like I've said in every video that we've reviewed of Joshua's, he has done an excellent job, but a very good job. My only critique would be on the amount of vinegar that he used to make the chicken adobo. For me, the ratio is a little bit too much. I would tweak the ratios a little bit. I wouldn't use as much vinegar. Then again, I'm not tasting it, so I don't know, and it depends on your taste. If you guys have tasted his recipe, then let me know down below on what you guys think about it. And if Joshua, you're watching, overall, I think you did a very good job, like you do in a lot of your videos. You have some excellent recipes, and I would love to cook with you one day. If any of you guys did enjoy this video, then don't forget to share, like, and subscribe as well. Be sure to check out this next video coming up here next, and I will see you guys again very soon. Until next time, take care.